Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Leo. I'm an herbalist. My husband Elad is a farmer, and I like to use the food that he grows and the herbs that I grow for health and wellness, both as a diet and as medicine, because I do believe that food is a type of medicine, maybe the best medicine ever. So how does it work? Today I'm going to talk about prebiotic and probiotic, and I will show how to make kimchi. We more and more learn, and it's now very trendy to talk about the microbiome, and we learn a lot about it and about its impact on the health of the digestive system, the immune system, and even mood. So what is the microbiome? Apparently, when we say I, we mean our cells, our human cells. But for every human cell you have on your body, you have 100 bacteria cells. They are everywhere, from the lungs, digestions, kidney, and for women, the vagina, the birth canal. We get our bacteria, if you are born in a vaginal birth, you get your first bacteria from your mother when you pass through the birth canal, and then later on during the first 3 years, the bacteria on your body gradually change, and you develop a different kind of bacteria in your mouth than in your colon, than in your birth canal if you're a woman, kidneys and lungs. So it's kind of, those are different ecological systems, but together they are all communicating with each other via those networks they create that are called biofilm. And you can kind of sense your biofilm when you wake up in the morning and you have this thing in your mouth. The feeling that you have there, the taste, it's your mouth bacteria creating those biofilm during night, and that's the way for the bacteria to communicate with each other. So as it happened, the bacteria help us digest the food that we eat, but it's also very important for our immune system, and it's even being proved to be connected to mood, like depression and anxiety. And the Western diet, or I would say even the entire Western lifestyle, so we have excess hygiene, we use a lot of antibiotic, we spray our food with pesticides and herbicides that kill the bacteria, and we deplete the soil by growing monoculture. All those together created a situation where the human bacteria count and diversity went down. And with it, we see more and more autoimmune disease, more and more depression and anxiety, and more digestive problems. So what could we do to kind of reverse or heal those systems through supporting the bacteria? There are two ways to support the bacteria. One way is to eat foods that actually feed your bacteria. You can eat a lot of dark green leafy greens, or kale, dandelion leaves, chicory. Those have they have starch that we ourselves cannot digest, but our gut bacteria really love. And by eating those things, you actually feed your bacteria and restore and nourish and help it grow and become more diverse. The other thing that you could do is eat probiotic. And taking probiotic could be done by two ways. You can go to the Whole Foods or to any other food store and buy yourself like pills. Or you can make um, fermented food and eat fermented food. When you make fermented food, you basically invite bacteria into your food. So you assume, and you will be right to assume, that there is bacteria in the room, in the air around you, and also on your hands. We know that bacteria cover all our skin. So when you make fermented food, you actually invite the bacteria in the air and the bacteria on your skin to start digesting the food that you make. So you support that bacteria to start the digestion process outside of your body. And then when you eat the food, you are eating the bacteria with it. And what it will do is not that it will colonize more bacteria in your gut, because mostly your gut is already colonized by the bacteria that is already there. But what those guests that come through do, they make the bacteria in your gut already create more biofilm and react in a way that strengthens your immune system and strengthens the communication between all your already existing bacteria. So by that way, you kind of strengthen your own bacteria. So couple of principles when you make food. You always want, and especially if you're making fermented food and you want to encourage bacteria into your food, you want it to be made with organic vegetables, because pesticides and herbicides basically kill bacteria. So if you want to invite bacteria to your food, you don't want to use vegetables that were sprayed. You want to use high quality vegetables, preferably vegetables that you grew your own. But if you don't grow your own, I would recommend connecting a CSA or a farm stand or go to a farmer market, because you also want your vegetables to be very fresh. The fresher they are, the more nutrient in them, and then you and your bacteria get better nutrient. So making kimchi happens in two stages. I will show today the first stage, and I will make tomorrow the second stage and combine them both. On the first stage, you take only the vegetables with no spices and basically soak them for overnight in salt water. So what I have here is around 4 pounds of Napa cabbage sliced, and I'm gonna mix them with about 8 carrots that I grated. And those are radishes, and I would say about 12 radishes sliced. And I'm just going to use my hands. That makes those amounts, and I will add the exact amount recipes, so you don't have to worry about that. But that amount make about a gallon of kimchi. I suggest that when you start with a quart and see how it works for you, and then you can make larger amount. So you really want to mix it very, very well together. I have my cat rubbing under my legs. Oops. Yeah, you don't want to let everything fall out. I think, yeah, that's good enough for today. Now you take, that's 8 cups of water with 8 tablespoons of salt, and you can use even kosher salt is fine. This is Himalayan pink salt, just because that's what I have at home, but you don't have to use the Himalayan pink salt, but you have to shake it really well so it dissolves, because you really want the salt of water. And then you just pour it. And I shook it before, so shake it really well. You pour it on, and you kind of mash it until the water covers the vegetables totally. And I know you can't see, but the water really needs to cover the vegetables. When the water covers the vegetables, you put a plate on it, and I like to put a bowl, and then you can put a jar or a bottle filled with water and weight the vegetables down so they are under the water. And one more thing that I forgot to add out, you want to cover it totally with a cloth like that, so bugs do not go in. So it's all protected from flies, or if you have ants or whatever you have in your kitchen, you want to keep it like that. And I let it sit for like until tomorrow morning, well, when I get back to it. So see you in the morning. Hello and good morning. We are back at my kitchen, and I want to show the second step of how to make kimchi. So first I'm going to strain the kimchi out of the water, and I want to keep the water. So I'm having a strainer on top of the bowl, and I just excuse me, take the kimchi out and strain it really well. But I'm keeping the salt water because we might need it after we pack the cabbage. Excuse me. There is not a lot left in here, so just going to slowly from one bowl to the other, and I can remove this to the side. Here we go. So I already cut 6 onions, and I'm just going to add them here. And maybe I'm actually going to use that bowl again. This bowl is not going to be large enough. So let me just add it here. Okay, that's much easier. So I'm adding the 6 onions here. I'm mixing it very well together. And you can cut the onions large or small. I like them in half rings. So whatever works for you. good. Oh no, that's not good. Not yet. You want really to check out that you mix it very well so it's all evenly spread. And to that I will add the paste. Now the paste I made it myself. It's a couple of garlic cloves, a couple of cayenne pepper, and a chunk of ginger, fresh ginger, that I ran in the food processor. Now this is spicy, and actually kimchi, the way I make it, could be a very good remedy for winter colds, for prevention, and when you get cold, because it has the garlic, cayenne pepper, onion, and ginger. So it's kind of, it's almost like a fire cider with cabbage. So now if your hands are sensitive, you want to mix it with a spoon or something, because this is spicy. So I'm just going to give it a short mix, because my hands can get burned from that after a while. And now that it's all mixed together, I can start packing the jar. So I'm just going to put it in a little bit, and then tighten it down as much as I can, and again fill it up. Tighten it down. You want it to be really packed tight, because you don't want it to have air in between. So remember, fermentation is anaerobic, so you really want it to be packed, and in a moment it will also be covered with water, with the salt water. So that's the end of it. Now I have enough salt water to kind of soak it all, but if I wouldn't have, I would have had from the water that I kept. So apparently I will not need them. What I'm going to do now, because I want to keep it under the water, first of all I'm going to wash my hands so I don't get a burn. Then I filled a small Ziploc bag with water, and I'm going to try and close it without spilling the water. So let me just Now that it's tightly closed, I put it in, and it works as a weight to weight everything down. I think I will add a little bit of the water that I think I will add a little bit so it really covers it. That's much better. And then to finish it all, I'm going to use cloth, like it's just a cotton cloth. Whoops. And I'm just going to put it on the end, on the top, and oops. Oh, I wanted to show something else. You want it to have a little bit of space because it is going to expand and bloat. So you don't want to fill it all the way to the tip because then it's going to overflow. And you want to put something on the top so animals cannot come in. Now, I recommend checking it every day, just taking a taste and see if it's ready. It should be ready for your, how crunchy you like it, how much more you want to keep it in. So check it every day, and when you're done, you just put a lid on and keep it in the refrigerator to stop the fermentation process from keep on developing, and it's ready. You can eat it. It will last for a very long time, at least a year. You can just scoop and eat it. I recommend like a tablespoon a day with the meal. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you soon. I would love it if you can comment on it on the bottom, and also if you have ideas for topics that you want me to cover, I would love that. Thank you.